Living Waters presents On the Box.
Five, two, one.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of On the Box. Today we are talking about hair.
Yes.
How are you, man?
I'm good ever since I joined the men's hair club for men.
The men's.
That one.
You're not only a client, you're the president, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is Eddie Roman, otherwise known as a legend around here at Living Waters, the Supreme Allied Commander of all things production,
Yes.
video, and otherwise. And he is a talker.
Boy, I can talk. I talked once.
Yeah?
Someone listened.
What did you do this weekend?
This weekend, I went to a party for a friend of mine who had a remarriage dedication event. He didn't really get remarried, but he rededicated himself to his marriage of his wife.
I think what you're trying to say is a renewing of their vows.
Yeah, you can say that.
Right.
And then I did something that I haven't done in a long time.
Wait, this is live. Can you tell us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I photographed a wedding.
What's wrong with that?
Someone told me that photographing a wedding was the kiss of death for photographers, but I don't agree with that.
Wasn't this Carrie's
It was
deal? Weren't you assisting Carrie?
It was my wife's job, and I assisted her.
Okay.
So
she photographed the wedding,
some of my tough
and you
guy
carried the gear.
Some of my tough guy friends made fun of me, but
Really?
I don't care.
That wouldn't include Greg, right?
Who's Greg?
The tough guy friends.
Oh, no, he's not a tough
No.
but he's a friend. So.
Greg L. Sasser.
Yes.
The executive producer, creator, writer, star of The Adventures of Roman and George,
Yes.
has condescended to work the chat room today behind the camera.
I'm still waiting for a royalty for him using my last name, but we won't talk about that here.
Greg? Go. Are you
Thumbs
you
up.
holding a
Here,
tooth?
folks.
Is that a toothbrush you're holding?
No.
He,
You're
do-
supposed
he
to
do-
brush your teeth before the show, and you're not even in front of the camera.
he doesn't have a toothbrush.
Oh, you need teeth for that. Okay. Hey. This week's winners. We want to share.
This is getting off to a bad start.
Wow. That's right. We're going to use this
This
too.
week's winners.
this week's win. You let me do this part.
Yes.
This week's winners. We had more than 120 people sign up to try to win something here this week.
Good. Did any of them win?
Yes, 3 people did.
All right.
Yes, 3 people won this week. Third prize, and that is 5 packs of Celebrity $1 Million bills. Those go to Darren Damewood of
Yes.
Camarillo, California.
Camarillo.
That's right. So we'll be sending those out to you. Second prize, the Defender's Guide for Life's Toughest Questions, goes to Amy Pritchett of Lakeview, Alabama.
We need to have some fake applause for these parts.
And the grand prize winner of the hardcover edition of the New Evidence Bible goes to Lindsay Waddell
Yes.
of Nashville, Tennessee.
She's from Tennessee, isn't she?
From Nashville.
That's awesome.
In Tennessee.
She's got a good Bible now.
She's got a good Bible.
Well, I'm sure she had one before.
We probably did, but this is a good
is a
one too.
really good
I mean,
one.
she wanted to win it, so
Yes.
she must have thought
Wanted
this is a
it.
good Bible.
Okay.
Right. All right. So you folks are the winners for this week, and the new contest starts today. So if you would like to win one of the 3 prizes we'll give away this week, just email us at onthebox@livingwaters.com. Onthebox@livingwaters.com, full name, full address, and your zip code. Only enter once. You're way too fascinated with the graphics.
That's the graphic wave.
Third prize this week are going to be 5 packs of our $1 million bill. There it is, the $1 million bill with the old guy with the big beard on the front. Second prize, this is neat. Why Pro-Life by Randy Alcorn. Because of something we're going to be doing later that we can't talk about.
Don't
Randy
talk about
Alcorn
that.
was kind enough to donate a whole bunch of copies of that book, which is a very good book.
Yes.
And so second prize will be a copy of that book by Randy Alcorn. First prize, yet again, another hardcover edition of the Evidence Bible.
It's covering you right now.
It's-
It's huge.
There we are.
There you are.
That
Quit
one.
hiding behind the Bible.
All right, so again, email us at onthebox@livingwaters.com, please. All right. Before we get into whatever else we want to get into,
Yes?
we're going to invite people to come.
I'm the one who's not talking. You just stand still.
I'm going to give you a chance.
Okay, thanks.
All right, you're doing real well.
Now we're going to
You
get
didn't
into
shave for the show,
something.
did you? You didn't shave for the show. Because the hair on your face is about as long as the hair on your head
when
right
someone
now.
asked me to be on a show 5 minutes before the show, I don't have much choice.
You know what?
but
We didn't even
other
say
than
why.
that-
We didn't even say why Ray's not in his seat.
It's because I'm in it?
Well, yes, but
Yes.
there's another reason.
Okay.
And that's because he and Mark are in Atlanta to the Christian Booksellers Convention. Greg's making flying motions back there. Greg, you are not a director or producer, man. You are
means-
working the chat room. So just pipe down back there.
I think Greg wants us to tell you he's on a plane.
He is on a, well, yes, he's on a plane now. He will be landing in Atlanta today, and we'll be there today and tomorrow.
And Ray's hoping there's not...
You got to stop watching them, man.
Sorry.
You got to stop watching them. All right. So that's why Ray's not here today. Hey, we've got a Transformed conference coming up July 23rd in
yes.
Oceanside, California.
It's very soon.
And so we want to show you a promo about that now. Now. Now.
Transformed. If you were to gauge your Christian walk from 1 to 10, where would you put it? Maybe a 7 or even an 8. If it's anything less than a 10, you need to come to Transformed.
You've got to go to the Transform Conference.
You on fire for God? Blazing? Maybe you just don't have as much enthusiasm as you once did.
We've been blessed to have tens of thousands of people attend our Transform conferences from all over the country.
Your Christian walk will be radically changed.
By the renewing of your mind.
The content is hard-hitting, the pace is fast-moving, and most importantly, the truth you'll hear is nothing short of revolutionary.
If you'll commit to attending Transform and apply what you hear, we guarantee you will never be lukewarm again.
I promise you, your walk will be transformed.
Come to Transformed.
All right, so we hope you'll join us for Transform July 23rd down at Calvary Chapel, Oceanside. You can register at livingwaters.com. And Eddie, we're doing something fun after the conference, aren't we?
Yes, we are going to go and take the team led by Ray to the Comic-Con. So lots and lots of people there dressed up in Nacho Libre suits, hopefully, and things like that. And actually last year, a friend of mine, Dojo Aguilar, who's a...
Not to be confused with Nacho.
No.
Dojo, not to be confused. Dojo
No.
Aguilar as opposed to
Yes.
Nacho Libre.
No, and so he is an Academy grad, and he went down there. Him and some other friends were down there preaching in front of the Comic-Con, and they were heckled by Nacho Libre. There was a guy dressed up in the Nacho Libre suit and started heckling him, and you'll get, guys dressed up like stormtroopers and Spider-Man and, all kinds of characters, and should be fun.
Middle-aged guys who come out of their basement once a year for this big conference.
In their stormtrooper outfit. And so, it should be a good time. So we're going to go do Transform in the morning and then head down to Comic-Con. So if you're in the area, should we make it an open invitation?
Absolutely, yes.
Get in your Spider-Man suit and come on down. No, so the plan is to just be right outside the front, the entrance, and there's usually a lot of people out there. So hopefully if you come down, you'll be able to see Ray live and in person, along with the lawman.
Yes, I'm not wearing a costume either.
We got your sheriff's uniform over there.
Yeah, no, it's not quite a sheriff's uniform.
You don't want to dress up like a deputy dog or something like that?
No.
Okay.
No. All right.
So anyway, that's when is it? Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. After that, 2 weeks.
Saturday, July 23rd.
Yes.
That's about 12 days from now. Yeah.
Be a lot of fun. If you've never been to a Transform event, you want to come and check it out.
Absolutely. When was the first one you went to? Was it before you started serving with the ministry?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was last year in somewhere.
What, Beaumont? Would that have been it?
No?
No? Okay. All right, we're moving on. You
don't want to keep trying
No,
to find
because I sense neurotransmitter misfire
Okay.
happening right now. We got to...
Yes.
All right. Mark and I had an opportunity to go to the Jersey Fire Conference this last weekend in none other than New Jersey, hence the name Jersey Fire. That conference led by Andrew Rappaport with Striving for Eternity Ministries. And Mark and I had a chance to speak along with Andrew and Jeff Rose from Jeremiah Cry Ministries. Have you ever heard or seen Jeff Rose
Yes,
preach?
man. He's a man
I think I
of
lost
passion.
like 3 to 5 pounds just watching him preach.
Boy, I saw a couple of
just
videos
amazing.
of him. If you just go on YouTube and look at some of his videos,
Yeah.
boy, he's got passion like no one else.
Yeah, amazing. But we had a great time, and in fact, one of the messages I did, the evangelist responsibility to the local church, is up on our blog at onthebox.us. We've gotten some responses.
Yeah.
Yeah. One is, Tony, the message is dead on what I have observed in some fellow witnesses and in some measure to my own walk at times. So just so you don't think I'm tooting my own horn here, another one we received via Facebook is, this is one of the worst sermons I've ever heard.
That one's signed by Mark Spence?
Mark? No.
Oh. You know what?
No.
Actually, Tony, I listened to that message this morning, and
You got through all of it? It's over an hour long.
I gotta say, it's pretty awesome. It addresses so many of the issues that evangelists deal with. You know, you go out on the street, and boy, there's the temptation of feeling alienated, like you're not part of your church, like your church doesn't care, and like you're the only person at your church that is doing evangelism, and there's all these different things that we can fall into as street evangelists. And boy, that message really, really covers all those issues. Boy, I'd encourage anyone who's involved in any kind of evangelism or not to check out that message, because it's great.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
That was completely impromptu and ad lib. It's not even in your notes.
No.
Thanks, buddy.
What's for lunch?
I don't know.
Okay.
Subway, something like
Yes.
that. But yeah, I expect the comments on this message to be varied, just like the two I read you. It deals with an issue called nomadism. There are nomads out there, Christian nomads, who are not attached in any way, shape, or form to a local body. And so I make a biblical case why all evangelists, all Christians, should be in a local church somewhere. All right. Got a picture for you of a young lady who came to the conference. Her name is Grace. She is 9 years old. She was sharing with me about how she was handing out tracts at a 4th of July parade and how much fun she had with that. I have another picture of her, not here for the show, but of her out there with a cross on the boardwalk out there at the Jersey Shores while there's some open air preaching going on. Certainly if a 9-year-old little girl like that can go out and hand out tracts,
Even Greg Alsasser
can do it too. All right. And we want to show you a video from the conference. After we had the conference, then folks went out to the Jersey Shores to open air preach to apply what they learned. Have you ever been heckled by a vuvuzela? A vuvuzela.
Is that like a Methuselah?
No, not like a Methuselah, because a Methuselah would be a hairy vuvuzela.
Okay.
It also goes by its Tatswana name of Lepatata Mambu.
Oh, you should have just said that in the first place.
Lepatata Mambu.
Okay.
Or in South Africa, it's called the Moor Stripper.
Excuse me?
Moor Stripper.
We need less of those.
M-O-E-R.
Not more, okay?
No.
What kind of a show are you pulling here?
I don't know, but watch this video and it'll all become normal.
Let's strip it down to where
God sees what he... God knows what
They buy me okay?
How do you? A dinosaur to you. Do you have a transitional form at all? No, what? Are dinosaurs warm? You keep them
You guys need to get some more, like, not smoking so much.
Even if you changed your life today, all the sins you did yesterday are real. Tomorrow, the sins you committed yesterday are real. God has prepared a propitiation, and He entreats sinners to come to Him, to come to Jesus Christ. He has called you. He has said, come to me, I will give you peace. He said, come to me, I will give you rest.
Come on, man. Jesus said.
You that hear me just this once, you need to be reconciled to God. There is reconciliation through Jesus Christ. Through Jesus Christ, you can be made right with God. Through Jesus Christ, you can...
So that was a vuvuzela. Otherwise known as a La Patata Mambu.
Yes.
Hakuna Matata.
Those guys are blowing off a lot of steam.
Yeah. Now, you were doing some research.
I was.
You were doing some research on the vuvuzela.
Who wouldn't? You know what?
I don't want to answer that.
Ruth, did you know that Ruth McNerney did a medical study? She's a part of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine.
That's who Ruth is.
And what she found is that 97% of the particles collected coming out of the end of one of these
vuvuzelas?
Yes.
La Patata Mambus?
These particles are between 0.5 and 5 microns, and that's just the right size to get trapped in the lower respiratory tract. So the point is, if someone with a cold or some kind of infection is blowing one of these things at you,
all that's coming at you is the cold.
Bad news. So to our friend in the video there, I would ask you, how are you feeling this morning? Got a little cough going on? You might want to get to the ER. Because, boy, you don't want to get sick. McNerney,
yes,
McNerney of the same, yes, sir. She said that you want to stay clear of these things. You got the germ problem, and also these things, 120 decibels.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
According to Danny, our intrepid sound guy, he says that's loud.
It could cause physical pain and physical eardrum burstage, maybe. So. I wouldn't want one of those things pointed at me.
You don't want a La Patata Mambu giving you any type of ear burst.
No. So another obstacle the open air preacher must overcome.
What I really liked about that video, especially now that I know that all those germs are coming out of the vuvuzela, is the way the officers responded.
Yes.
You know, some officers would have walked up and said, "Hey, they have the right to free speech too." But these officers, having dealt with this long enough, recognize that there is no such thing as a heckler's veto. Someone who doesn't like what you're saying cannot just simply drown you out and call it their version of free speech.
Nice.
So officers are actually obligated to make hecklers like that move on, move away, stop what they're doing, and stop interfering with your exercise of free speech.
And that is a lawman certified statement.
Well, I'm certifiable. There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So Greg, sitting behind the camera there, has a question, and I think others in the chat room have a question. What would you do? I mean, before you learned that you're going to catch diseases from the vuvuzela,
boy,
what would you do if someone came up there and was heckling you with the vuvuzela?
I guess after I put on my surgical mask, boy, I don't know. I would. I guess it would depend on how loud it is. I know I've seen videos before of
Mike Stockwell was getting hit with one of those.
Steve Sanchez, I remember one a while ago, and I don't know. I would keep preaching, and because I think part of the result is it adds to the craziness, and I think more people would come. You know, so I'd probably continue preaching. You know, and just in the hopes that a crowd's going to gather, and at some point, you know, I would imagine they'd hopefully go away at some point, and if not. I don't know. I'd call the lawman.
Call the lawman. Yeah. No, I don't know if anyone called at that point. The first guy that comes into the camera view kind of walks off camera. He is a police officer in New Jersey who was attending the event. So I don't know if he actually called law enforcement there or not. You know what? Carry some ear. You know, what do you call
plugs.
them? Ear plugs.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm so stuck on the La Patata Mambu that I can't say plugs anymore. But yeah, get some earplugs and keep preaching. I think what you'll find, though, is if someone is doing this incessantly, you know, going on for some time, eventually your crowd's going to turn on you. There's going to be some free speech advocate who's going to walk up and, even though they may not like what you're saying, they dislike what they're doing to shut you up even more.
Right. They just want to stop the whole thing. And the one guy, he started swinging it, and at that point, I would think the officers are looking at it and go, man, this is starting to get ugly. You know, he's winding that thing up like a baseball bat.
And my thought is, look, never bring a plastic vuvuzela to a gunfight. I'm just saying. All right. You want to go to the chat room?
Another lawman certified statement. Yes, let's go to the chat room.
Let's go to the chat room. What do you say to someone that says they have kept all the 10 commandments? What do you say?
Boy, well, I like what Ray says. He cites Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and basically say either you're lying or God's lying. You know, you decide. And at that point, if the person says, well, God's lying, then, you know, you deal with that. You deal with him as a Crazy man.
Yeah. 1 John 1:8 says, if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. And so basically, if anyone comes up to you and says, no, I haven't broken any of the 10 Commandments, they're a liar. And it's okay to call them a liar. You know, you're lying. You would have to be a perfect person not to break the 10 Commandments. And if you assert that you're perfect, well, then you're arrogant and prideful, and those are sins too.
And would you say that usually when someone uses that, I've never broke the 10 Commandments,
they don't want to talk to you.
They're already in the state of being proud and arrogant and type of thing, showing off for their friends.
Yeah, so dust off your feet and move on. You know, if you get someone like that who gets up on the box, you know, to heckle you in the open air, just say, hey, look, I'm looking to talk to reasonable people, not those who have deluded themselves into thinking they're better than they actually are. Or I'll ask the crowd, folks, do any of you believe that this man has never broken one of the 10 Commandments? And usually the crowd is going to shout no. And so the person's either going to back down from that, or you just move on and go to someone else.
He will be shunned by the crowd.
Shunned by the crowd. Crowd shunning. Crowd shunning. Yes. Is it okay to have the sinner's prayer on a gospel tract?
Do we have the sinner's prayer on any gospel tracts?
Daniel, do we? What is the sinner's prayer?
It's a prayer that a sinner prays.
No, there's not. I don't think there's an official one.
So
no.
this gets into the whole issue of, do we tell someone what to pray, or do we hope that he prays something from his heart to God? Right. So I think that's the issue. I don't know. What's the official Living Waters tract?
Oh, good. No, this is not the. I think there are a couple of tracts that we've actually had a prayer on there, but it was clearly laid out that, look, praying this prayer doesn't make you right with God.
Laid out more as an example.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
This is what a person in your situation would pray. Something
possibly,
like this.
yeah. But on a lot of gospel tracts, there'll be a quote-unquote sinner's prayer, and then there'll be verbiage like, if you've prayed this prayer, you're now a Christian.
And so what's the risk there? You know,
creating a false convert.
Someone's
relying on a prayer they uttered from the back of a tract, or following the words of a pastor, or preacher, or evangelist, and they're trusting in that and not in Christ alone for their salvation. So personally, I would not use a gospel tract that has a sinner's prayer.
I said the sinner's prayer 10 years ago. I'm good.
Yeah,
that kind of mentality.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Is there any way I could convince a Catholic that their cult isn't Christian when the Catholic has a hard heart?
This isn't the person who wrote this question. I don't think they read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Do you think they did? Boy, well, looking at that question, my first response would be, deal with the hard heart first, just by taking this person through the law and the gospel, and then you can, deal with the other part later.
Yeah, if you walk up to somebody and you find out that they're...
I'd like to talk to you about your cult.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're Roman Catholic? Do you know you're part of a cult? I mean, the walls usually go up at that point.
I would think so.
And you're really not...
The drawbridge,
exactly.
Straight up.
Yeah, when I'm sharing the gospel with someone of the Catholic faith or any other faith, I don't start by attacking their religion, something that they probably hold near and dear to their heart.
Sure.
Even if they don't know all of the theology of the religion, many people in other religions are very committed to it just based on tradition.
Right.
You know, my parents were in this religion, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, and so on. And so if you start by attacking part of who they are, you'll probably never even get to the gospel. You'll just run around in circles.
I would think a lot of times people in religious groups, they really don't think a whole lot about the theology. They're just thinking, this is what I am.
Yeah.
I remember I had a friend who basically, he was being witnessed to, and at one point he said, you know what, I really don't want to change teams. That was his kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Another person I know basically said, I would never go from being a Catholic to a Christian or whatever you are, because I wouldn't want to hurt my mom.
Yeah.
And so there's so much tradition and emotion wrapped up into it. It's just best to play it safe and just preach the gospel. Just go through the law, go through the gospel, and then take it from there.
Yeah, in fact, sometimes when I'm witnessing to someone who I know is a Christian, I will say to them, the Catholic Bible says this, knowing that...
St. Joseph edition.
I don't know which edition.
That's it.
Is it?
It's blue.
It's blue.
Yeah, the one I had was the St. Joseph edition.
Did you find this out while
can
you
keep
were
going.
researching
No,
the germ content
No,
of the
I knew
vuvuzela?
this before the germs.
Okay. They're all
You need
not
to
all
stop
blue. They're not all blue, are they?
I think so.
Really?
It's the official color. No, I'm just kidding. Mine
All
was
right,
blue.
If
Anyway.
you have a Catholic Bible that is not blue, we want to know it on the box at livingwaters.com, on the box at
Don't prove me
livingwaters.com. But I will, especially when referring to issues such as the gospel. Why did he hold a 4 up? Greg's holding a 4 up. There's less than 2 minutes left in the show.
No.
There's less than 2 minutes in the show.
Roman and George 4 is coming out.
That's right. 4th episode.
2 minutes.
The second episode was funny of Adventures of Roman and George.
So I mean the first one wasn't.
No, the first one was too. No, there's a dead body in the first one.
Oh, that's not funny.
Wasn't that the first one?
That was actually pretty funny.
And then they were giving away actual church money.
Where would
in the second one,
if someone wanted to investigate these Roman and George DVs, where could they find them?
Can't they get them now at livingwaters.com?
Why they can?
Just go to livingwaters.com.
What a surprise.
Click on the store. And click on the icon that has a really good artwork of these really ugly tennis shoes standing on top of a cardboard or crate or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is funny. It's funny.
Really funny.
He's holding up a 1 now. We're going to go to the last question.
He's full of pride. He thinks he's number 1. He shouldn't do that.
Greg, we want to thank you for volunteering today in the chat room. Do your wives accompany you when you go open air preaching or witnessing? Does Carrie go out with you?
Great question. She has. We're starting to plan a date, actually, to go do that.
An evangelism date.
You know what? I have a friend who, for Valentine's Day, him and his wife went out to eat. It was all nice. And afterwards, they just went and did evangelism in their dressed up duds.
Yeah.
Clothes.
And, I know what duds are.
Okay, good. And so, my wife, I'm actually very fortunate to have a wife who's been through the Ambassadors Academy, so we're on the same page as far as evangelism goes. She can probably say it better than me, evangelism.
I'm very fortunate to have a wife who's married to the guy who runs the Evangelism Academy, Ambassadors Academy.
That helps.
It does.
That's a bonus.
Yeah, Maria comes out with me all the time, whether it's taking out a cross or doing 1-to-1. She was out with me a couple weekends ago when we went to 3rd Street Promenade. Love having Maria out there.
It's good that she takes out the cross and she doesn't just get cross at you. Ray's not here. I gotta fill in on these jokes.
Hey, you want to come back tomorrow? Because I don't have a co-host tomorrow
Why
either.
not? I'm not
sure.
doing
Yeah, Greg, no, that's okay. Greg, you want to come back tomorrow? Yes. Greg, you can talk out loud because our mics only pick up our voices. Oh, really? No, shh. All right. Hey, again, visit the blog onthebox.us. We would like you to listen to that message and get your feedback.
I'll be ready for tomorrow's show.
Will you?
Now that I have more than 5 minutes to plan for.
Well, wait, I haven't written tomorrow's show yet.
Okay.
All right, we're out of time. Until tomorrow, be encouraged, strengthened, and unafraid. Do what?
Proclaim the gospel.
See? He's not new. There you go.
You're full of it!
Living Waters presents On the Box.